Hi, T. Carlson here. My journey to go through all the movies I bought during the Scream Factory sale continues. Today we're taking a look at a little gem from Wes Craven that came out in 1989, that being Shocker. I'm going to unbox this release and I will share my opinions. Great cover art there of the main villain. You got the little tagline there, "No more Mr. Nice Guy." Not that he was ever a nice guy to begin with. There's our back with all our pertinent information. Inside the package we have our Blu-ray disc. There is no 4K disc of this movie, so this Blu-ray from Scream Factory, probably the best and most current release of the film there is. Reversible art in there if you're into that sort of thing. I'll read the description as follows from the back of the package. On October 2nd at 6:45 a.m., mass murderer Horace Pinker was put to death. Now he's really mad. Master of Horror Wes Craven directs this exciting visual treat which introduces a diabolical masked murderer who harnesses electricity for unimaginable killing powers. About to be electrocuted for a catalog of heinous crimes, the unrepentant Horace Pinker transforms into a terrifying energy source. Only young athlete Jonathan Parker, with an uncanny connection to Pinker through bizarre dreams, can fight the powerful demon. The two dive in and out of television programs, chasing each other from channel to channel, through stunning scenes of disaster, game shows, and old reruns. A dazzling blend of special effects and electrifying soundtrack, Shocker stars actor-director Peter Berg, Michael Murphy, Ted Raimi, and Mitch Pileggi as Horace Pinker. This was my first time watching Shocker. However, I've been aware of the movie over the years because a lot of notable hard rock and heavy metal musicians have contributed to the soundtrack. I, of course, being a great big music fan, so any movie that has a heavy metal soundtrack, I'm going to gravitate towards that and go right in. Shocker, of course, has a ridiculous over-the-top premise. You have a serial killer going on the loose. He's sentenced to death, but makes a bargain through the television airwaves, through the TV that's in his cell as per his last request prior to his execution. And he uses this to take advantage of that power, stealing people's bodies by becoming an energy source, and of course, jumping not only from person to person, but channel to channel. And there's a young athlete who, of course, has been the victim of many of his crimes, they ending up dead at the end of his knife. The result is that he's got to step up and do battle with these villains. Now, from that description, you can tell this movie is pretty ridiculous, pretty over the top. It's outright silly and campy at times, despite its dramatic and murderous content. But I have to say, I actually had a lot of fun with this one. It's a movie that never takes itself too seriously, despite what it's all about. And you can tell director Wes Craven, who of course was known in the 80s for the Nightmare on Elm Street series, and of course would become known in the 90s again for the Scream franchise, really gives it his all here. It's a campy, silly premise, but Craven just goes all in, as do all of the cast and crew members, and the results really speak for themselves. I'm not going to get too into spoiler territory here if you haven't seen the movie, but it is a lot of fun, and I appreciate the fact that it actually takes the time to build up its human characters, both good and evil, so that when the supernatural stuff starts occurring, we actually have some background, and we actually genuinely care about these characters, and we genuinely loathe our enemy. It is a solid film for what it is. Don't come in here expecting art house cinema or an Oscar winner. If you just want to turn off your brain and have a good time with a fun horror movie that has a great heavy metal hard rock soundtrack, Shocker certainly fits the bill. I'm pleasantly surprised by how good Shocker looks on this Blu-ray disc from Scream Factory. The only real complaint I have in regard to picture quality is there are some scenes that actually take place in old television shows and on TV, and those scenes understandably don't look very good, but that's just because of how they were shot and compiled together. But I do have to say, overall, the picture quality is pretty good, and aside from an actual 4K Ultra High Def disc, I don't think we could ask for much more from Shocker. There are some great new featurettes on the Blu-ray as well, including one of my personal favorites, which entails interviews with many of the people who contributed to the soundtrack, including Megadeth's David Ellefson, Alice Cooper's guitarist Kane Roberts, and former Kiss guitarist Bruce Kulick. There's also interviews with plenty of the other cast and crew members and a lot of archival material as well. So any fan of Shocker or anyone who wants to get more into the production of the film, they'll be happy with what they see here. I can highly recommend this release. I did get this during the Scream Factory sale. If it ever goes on sale again, I would definitely push the buy button on this one. Were you a fan of Shocker? Do you love the heavy metal soundtrack? Do you think it's campy and over the top but still an entertaining film? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content. I always post new videos, and make sure you give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm T. Carlson. I'll see you next time.